welcome to another video on the channel. I've not been active recently, just been concentrating on Instagram if I'm honest with you. Today's video is going to be based around hook sharpening. I don't think it's going to be a particularly long video, but we'll go through all the aspects of hook sharpening, how to get that quality edge that you're looking for, and what equipment I use as well. So to start off with then, we go into it with the actual sharpening kit itself then. There are loads on the market. I know Nash do some, Jag do some, there's plenty out there to go at. They even do motorised ones, so you've got like the Nash pinpoint as well. I just find with those though, the price aspect of sharpening a hook for like 80 quid, it's not really feasible. But I picked up this one off eBay. It's a Jag, it's the full kit. It comes with a spare clamp as well, this one, not that I'll need a spare clamp, but it comes with it anyway. So I'll take the spare clamp out. This is what you'll get in the kit if you bought it offline essentially. So in the kit then, you get one clamp, alright, they all come in these protective tubings anyway. Just a spare one. So that's the clamp that you'll get. Okay, it's got the tensioning wheel on it as well, and in between there, if you can see that, the hook is going to go on this side. I'll show you that shortly. But yeah, good quality metal, made by Jag. It's the same metal they use in all the bank sticks and bankware, so you know what you're getting with Jag. Secondly then is the longer file with the black handle. And what that's used for is the coarse file, so this takes off the most metal per stroke. So you need to go easy with this, and the good thing about doing it manually is you're never going to take too much off, if that makes sense. If you're using like the Nash pinpoint or any of the other electronic ones on the market that spin at ridiculous RPM, you've got to be on the ball, because if you take too much metal off the hook, essentially you can't put it back on again, so the hook's knackered. So I find that doing it manually is much better. And you get a bit more of a feel through it as well. You'll understand what I mean when you start sharpening for yourself. So yeah, you get the coarse file, and then you'll also get either a red or a green handled smaller one, and these are the polishing files. So these are used at the very end to take the score marks off the hook once you've finished with the coarser file. As you'll notice that through the eyeglass, which I'll show you shortly, you'll get that coarse marks coming through where you've used the very aggressive file. So this one's super smooth, but it will take the little edges off, so really useful, and you need one of them as well. I've got two of them that come with a spare kit. And then secondly, most importantly, is the eyeglass by Jag. So this is a necessity. If you get a hook sharpening kit without one of these, then you may as well have not bought one, because it doesn't matter how good your eyes are. Mine are really good, but you're still never going to be able to see what you can see through one of these. So make sure that is one of the first things that you get. Same again with the actual clamp itself. Anyone that tells you they can sharpen a hook without a clamp is chatting bullshit. So yeah, get a clamp, because you need to put relative amount of force on it, and if you've got big hands like me as well, it can get fiddly as well. But yeah, just get a clamp. Honestly, you try it without one and you try it with one, you'll wonder why you never had one in the first place. So yeah, get one of them. So yeah, that's the basics around the kit itself. I think I picked that one up off eBay, including the bag as well. I paid 35 quid I think, including postage. So yeah, mega made up with that. They are expensive to start off with if you get one brand new, but there's always deals around, so make sure you get onto eBay and have a look for one if you haven't already got one. So the positives to having a sharp hook then, a lot of people think that hooks are sharp straight out the pack, and a lot of them are. I know the one that I'm going to sharpen today are the offset chods from Hobo Armour. These are super sharp out of the pack anyway, but you can always get them sharper. They're just spending a little bit of time. Hobo Armour do a hand sharpening service for for sort of a quid, £2 extra on any pack of hooks that you get. Highly recommend that. If you're the type of person that doesn't want to sit and sharpen hooks, then that's definitely for you. I find it quite therapeutic, to be honest, and I can get the point exactly how I want it, so that I've got ultimate confidence when that is presented over the bottom. So yeah, the positives are sharper hook. You should use a lighter lead, because you're not going to need that pulling power from the lead once the fish takes the hook and the bait. There is a downside to having a very, very, very sharp hook, and that is that it will burr over quite easily. So when you're reeling in, if you don't pick that hook straight up off the deck and it hits any debris on the bottom, it will burr easy. But that's just the nature of the beast. If you want to catch these fish, and you want a good solid hook hold every time, with no aspect of the fish being able to shake that hook, then you need to take that on board. And when you are casting about, if you're clipped up and you've maybe got a little bit left of your spot, a little bit right, and you feel that lead and it doesn't feel good, if you pick that lead straight up again, without giving enough time for the hook to settle down, these are all parts of fishing and casting and looking after your hook that you'll have to take into account, but that just comes with time and practice, I guess. So yeah, having a sharp hook is that there is no negative when it comes to actually hooking the fish. A lot of people say that, oh well, if you have the hook too sharp, that the barb side can snap off and stay in the fish's mouth, and I've never heard of that. That there's literally no way that would snap off and stay in the fish's mouth, and even if it did, the fish would eject it naturally anyway, just like when you sort of get snapped off, and that the fish and the biomechanics of the fish, when it's moving about, will naturally push that hook out anyway. It's very similar to when you get a splinter in your finger. If you leave it, your body will eject it anyway, so don't be worrying about that. But I'll show you how to avoid that snapping off, even if it did. It's all about how far down the hook you actually sharpen it. So yeah, I think there isn't really any negatives other than the fact that the point might burr over a little bit easier. Other than that, everything else is positive. But yeah, we'll go into the hook sharpening now. I'll show you how to set up the vise. Okay, so we'll get into the hook sharpening then. So first things first, grab your clamp. Just loosen it up a little bit, just so you see the gap open up. And then what we're going to do is grab one of our chosen hooks, which today I'm going to be using the offset chod hook from Hobo Armour. Give them a quick sharpen up. They don't need much. These ones straight out the pack, they are very sharp, but like I say, you can always get them a little bit sharper. So first things first, so I'm left-handed, so I'll have the file in my left hand. Okay, so what I want to be doing is putting the hook point facing the sky with the eye as well. So eye end goes in first, and we're going to be having the wheel facing towards us, if that makes sense. So I'll pop that in at 45 degrees, and then you want to tighten it up. Hand tighten on this is more than enough. Do it as tight as you can with your hand, it's absolutely fine. It has got a groove inside it so that you can tighten it up with something. People use the files, you can pop the file in there, but be very careful when you do that, because these will snap if you put too much force on them. So this is sort of what it's going to be looking like. So 45 degrees, iron point facing the sky with the wheel towards you. Okay. The reason for the wheel being towards you is we're going to sharpen it actually on our leg, so the file doesn't actually move at all. The clamp and the hook don't actually move, it's just file. Alright. First things we're going to be doing then is looking at where we're going to be filing from. So I'll try and get this in focus for you. If we look at the actual hook itself, okay, we're going to be filing barb side. Alright. Where the hook starts to bend at the bottom, we leave that, because that's where all the force is going to be when we're hooking the fish. So all we're filing are from the point to probably 1 mil, 2 mil below the barb on the opposite side. Alright. The way we do that then is slow, straight strokes with the file. Alright, I tend to do about 3 or 4, and then we'll have a look at the eyeglass, have a look through, have a look at the hook, see how much we've taken off, see where we need to take some more off, and then another 2 or 3. By doing that, it means that we don't ever take too much off, because like I said before, once you've taken too much off, it's gone. You can never put it back on again, so then you're gonna have to start again with another hook. And that's again the reason why I like doing them manually. Alright, so I'll get the camera set up where you can see me actually filing this on my leg. Okay, so I've got it on my leg now. Alright, so the clamp's in, hook's 45 degrees, I've got the coarse file here. So this is going to be the one that we're going to start off with, okay? So what we want to be doing then is putting the file straight opposite the barb, and we're going to do 3 or 4 strokes, medium force. You know, we don't want to be just gliding it across with no intent. But yeah, I'll show you how that looks. So we look at it. Using the full length of the file. Like that. Take off the excess metal, clean the file, make sure all of the shards and stuff are out of it, and then we're going to have a quick look. You can probably see, if I can get that to focus, the hook is slightly shinier now. That's where we've taken off the Teflon coating that stops it from getting eroded. But if we have a look through the, I'll see if I can get this to sort of, so you can have a look at the hook. So there you go. So you can see how shiny that bit is. That's where we've taken it off. If I try and turn that so you can get a good, yeah. Anyway, so that's where we're looking at. So you'll start to see it shining, and that's where you're taking off the metal. So still a bit to go on this one. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it off again. Quick look. I'm not sure if you can, whether it's picking that up, but I can certainly see that that's shining now. I'm slowly taking some off. So again, we'll have a look at that. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, starting to look something like now. I'll see if I can get the eyeglass to work again for you. So a little bit, yeah, there we go. There you go. So you can see that edge now is flattened off quite a lot, to be fair. See if I can get the side on for you. There we go, there's the point. There you go. So you can see that now. It's actually sharpened off quite a lot. It's a bit awkward, apologies guys. So yeah, that's what we'll be looking for. Is, oh, we've got the file here. We're just slow, dead straight. We're not going at any angles or any weird. We're not coming across the hook, or, you know, we're not coming down from the point. We're always filing up towards the point. Extremely straight, following the contours of the hook. And what we can do from there is, once that's, we're happy with immediately opposite the barb, we can then come slightly on top, so we're almost looking at it sort of from that angle, if that makes sense. We're not coming round the back of the hook, but you can, instead of it being exactly flat like that, we can just tilt the file and do some strokes either end, and that just helps us like that. And then with this one, just gonna have to swap hands so I can get around the other side. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Still a bit more to go on this. So it is a time-consuming process. But once you get good at it and you get faster, you'll be knocking 30 hooks a night out. Like that. Yeah, so we're getting there now. Do another 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So we'll compare it to a hook that straight out the pack in a minute. Okay, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see the difference between these on the camera. So what I'm going to do is place both the hooks in my hand so that you can hopefully see. If I get the eyeglass, it might help actually. So there we go. You can see the difference that has made, and I've only been doing it for sort of 4 minutes whilst I've been talking in between the video, but you can see already how much it's taken off. Alright, so obviously the one with the clear sort of shiny metal is the one that we've just finished sharpening. We're not finished yet though, and that is the one straight out of the hook, straight out of the pack, sorry. So we can already see we're making improvements. So I hope you managed to see sort of what we were getting at there with the way that we use the file, whereabouts on the hook we actually start taking metal away from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off a little bit more on this, and then we'll go into the finishing side of it and polishing it up. So we now take the red file, which is a lot smoother and a lot less coarse than the one that we've just been using, the longer black one. Alright, same method again, follow the same line as we did with the black one. The reason for this is because that was a coarser file, it's going to have left groove marks. You won't be able to see them, but there will be groove marks on there. Now, if we can smooth those off a little bit, it's going to help prevent the hook from eroding. Not completely, but it'll prolong the eroding time from the metal oxidising in the water. If we can make that smooth, and then obviously we cover it with grease at the end anyway. But we'll go ahead and let's just start polishing off and finishing what we've started. With the finer file, you can do sort of 6 to 10, and then have a quick look and see what you've got. Only because it's not taking much metal off, it's more just buffing out those grooves. Okay, so we're somewhere light now. I can get that eyeglass in front again. So that's the one we've just sharpened. See how thin it is on the barb side? And then if we have a look at the one out of the pack. Yeah, you got that. So if I take that off and show you exactly where we've come from. So if I can somehow hold these two hooks for you to see through the eyeglass, and this is the beauty of having the eyeglass. Okay, so if I pop that in there. There you go. You can see the difference, how much thinner it is. And we can do the test on it now. So the test is obviously the nail test. I haven't got much nails, but the puck out the pack does grip, but does slide ever so slightly. However, with the one that we've got, it doesn't. It literally just digs in and grips, and that's the beauty of having a sharpened hook. Guys, you need to get on this. If you don't sharpen hooks, at least start by buying the hand sharpened ones and then get a feel for it, and see how much of an impact that has with you on the bank. I've recently started doing this, and I've seen a massive difference in my hook holds, and my takes as well. Because once that hook sinks all the way in with ease, the fish doesn't even bother trying to shake it off. Whereas if you get one out of the pack that's not quite as sharp as the one that you would hand sharpen, if that only goes in a couple of mil, the fish can sometimes just settle on the bottom and try and get rid of it before bolting off, and can sometimes actually get rid of the hook before you've even got it. And that's what sometimes those little bleeps on the bobbins can be. You see the bobbin go up and down, and then all of a sudden it rattles off. That's because the fish has given up trying to shake it off, and has then just decided to go on a tangent sort of thing across the lake. So yeah, spend a bit of time, get a cheap kit, sharpen hooks, just get used to it. I find it's quite therapeutic. But yeah, let me know how you guys get on. Don't forget to follow my Instagram page. It's the Carp Fishing Commando on Instagram. Have a look at my page, give it a like, give it a follow, and obviously subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I will be putting some more videos up, all to do with carp fishing, and my sort of journey, tips, hints, tricks, all that sort of good stuff. Now I have a new tripod, I can actually start filming some stuff now. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll be back in touch soon, guys. Cheers.